want to get to know them, right? That's something that you want to do. But is movies, like, just as a default, the best way to do that? And I want to talk to our art and movie connoisseur over here,
Connoisseur?
and see what he thinks about it. I'm just opening up the floor.
Well, considering movies as a pastime is something that really grinds my gears.
Why does it grind your gears?
Because even if it's a bad movie, the people behind it it's so difficult to make a movie.
Yeah.
And like it's an art form that requires attention. Like you can look at a painting and see the craftsmanship in it.
Just like our podcast.
Exactly. Yeah. But with a movie, it's like a painting, but you need to walk like for an hour and a half to see the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes you really mad when people are like vacuuming or cleaning and put on a movie. Like I get it if it's something you've seen a million times, but if you're watching a new movie and you're on your phone the whole time, and then at the end you're like, I didn't really get it. That's stupid.
Does that really burst your bubble?
It bursts my bubble.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I feel like though is that there's kind of two types of movie watchers.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's the people who watch the movie for the Mona Lisa of it all, you know? But then there's the people who sit down and watch it to converse with people and just have a medium of content in front of them that they can laugh about. So is one better than the other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Because you have all the time in the world afterwards to discuss anything, you know?
I agree.
But during the movie, you're just taking away from the experience.
I mean, I think that, first of all, I think that movies have just been morphed by, I don't know, by people who don't really know how to appreciate them. They just, it's just a default. And so, like, you just want to invite your friends over and hang out, but not really actually, like, watch the movie. And I don't think that's how movies were supposed to be enjoyed.
You know what it is? People have confused TV culture with movie culture.
That's very true.
As in, they bring their TV watching mindset, their Netflix watching mindset of like a TV show that has a bunch of episodes that they binge watch and can laugh at people. I think they bring it to movies. So movies are supposed to be somewhat, I mean, there are sagas, but they're supposed to be their own standalone creation.
Totally. Yeah.
Whereas like a TV series, it's like this ongoing journey. So it's okay to like sit back, crack open one with the boys, and like have some popcorn.
What?
Time about Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yeah. Go ahead.
That's what I love about movies. I love the compressed narrative. I don't like just binge watching things and being able to stop whenever I want. It feels kind of lazy to me. I don't really like TV shows in general. I mean, there's a few. But yeah, movies are top of the crop for me. Another thing that really bothers me is fact-checking during movies.
Oh gosh. That can't be possible!
Even things like that. But this weekend, I watched Ingmar Bergman's Shame from 1968. Wonderful movie. Watched it with two wonderful people, my parents.
Wayne
and Anne. Yeah, give a quick shout out to those guys. But there was one moment where I saw my father. It's about like this war in Sweden. My dad's like, when did Hitler invade Sweden? And he's on his phone missing things in the movie. And like, just watch the movie, you know. And it's not a real war. I had to like kind of bring that up.
Wait, World War II never happened?
No.
Can we get a fact check on that?
Yeah, fact checking during podcasts is a whole different thing. But
thoughts on Wikipedia as a valid source of news.
No, it's like the movie. The war in the movie is not a real war. It's supposed to be like some civil war that takes place. And it could be anywhere really. It doesn't even mention it's in Sweden. But
so this leads me to another question. Do you think that the problem is that movies are like shouldn't be a Friday night marquee hangout time? Like, should it be something else? Do you think that's why movies? Because you invite people over and you're like, what do we do? Oh, you just default to movies. And then you end up wanting to just talk to your friends anyway, so you flip on a movie, and then you don't enjoy the movie because you just want to talk to each other.
I mean, I wish people didn't do that, but there's definitely groups of friends that will enjoy watching a movie together.
No, yeah.
I'm trying to understand why so many people do it. Like you've said, Okay, so movies are an art form. That's the claim, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a group of people that know that to be true, but they don't necessarily give that respect to them. But they still walk away experiencing a lot of joy and like having a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what is the purpose of watching a movie?
Depends on the movie, of course.
Okay.
But I think all movies require focus.
Mm-hmm.
Background noise is not one of those things.
I don't think Fast and Furious requires too much focus.
Yeah, but it's like an exciting thing to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I think there's like some movies with really intricate plots that like
Yeah.
you need to be there, like The Prestige or something. Like there's details that are like really important, and there's other movies that I would say are less of an art form in that it's just kind of stimulus. Like there's still a story, but you're just kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think I more fall under the category of there's a subset of movies that are art, and there's a subset of movies that are just like they're just entertainment in its purest
Mhm.
form. And I think it's okay not to be like hyper focused in on every word. Like, and I'm okay with people like laughing and have a good
But do
time.
you think the problem is that people don't know the difference between the two, and then they just
Yes.
morph it into both, and then so you get annoyed when it's like you have to annoy, and then it ruins the experience for people who actually want to.
Exactly. That's precisely
Like
what happens.
Carson.
Right. So it's like we have
I know
different
a lot.
tolerances for what we consider a movie that should require all of your focus. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
for Carson, every movie is that. For me, there's a subset I'm like, hold up, like you need to respect this movie. And so that's where some of the friction comes from.
If we're, like, let's say there's the Fast and Furious category and the Prestige
Right.
category.
To use like an
Yeah,
extreme
just,
differences. Yeah.
But even though, like, Fast and Furious, it's not some insane plot that requires lots of focus. There's still so much choreography and stunt work and special effects that require so much admiration.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think people
More
care
admiration.
about that.
I would argue that people do.
I think that-
I would say the layman doesn't. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But most college students per se are laymen, so
Sure.
they wouldn't care.
I think we care about the way it makes us feel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ultimate. That's why we do it, right? Or else we wouldn't go to a movie theater and spend $8-9. Like it's about the experience and how you walk away feeling from it. So.
Well, comment your opinion, Tommy, and others about it, and those who listen that we don't know about.
That's true.
Comment your opinion.
You guys are out there.
We'll not respond to you, but just know that we don't care. But we want to see those opinions out there because it makes us look good. So we're moving on to our next brief.
There's more.
This will be brief. Carson, any relationship advice for the
listeners
out there?
Welcome to the relationship segment, brought to you by us.
When you're in a relationship, the key to being happy is to be happy. That's all I got for that one.
Well, can I just put my 2 cents in there?
Mm-hmm.
How about 3 cents? I want to hear 3 cents.
You know how they always talk about, be empathetic and all these things about people, and just like always apologize first and stuff like that. What if you just don't? What if you just
choose to not roll over?
Yeah. What if you just hold your ground?
Strike mindset.
And pull on that strength mindset and just
unpolished
if you and if the other person doesn't submit themselves to you, then there's another person for you. So that's all I got.
Can you elaborate on what you mean by submission?
I
feel like that's important for our viewers.
I'll save that for another time.
Yeah, another segment.
Another segment.
Yep. My 1 cent. I think there are stages of life, and you need to be aware of when someone else is in a different stage of life than you. Doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means you need to be aware of what that means and how that's going to affect how things play out. So preferably, you find someone at the same stage of life as you. So all I'm saying is maybe don't date someone 10 years older than you. So, yeah. That's not aimed at anyone in particular, by the way. That's just a general observation about life, is that people are going through the same stages of life tend to do and last a little bit longer. So, yeah. So I don't know if I'm for the whole like age or love knows no age or what's the line? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's some phrase.
I mean, it's not okay to assume that's true for everyone. It works for some people.
Yeah.
I think you're on the right track with the majority of people.
Yeah.
That being in similar age range.
Yep.
You know, the ebbs and flows go together.
Like if I, for instance, as a 21-year-old, like a 21-year-old does not date like a 15-year-old, for instance. Like that's just completely right.
That's also illegal. So.
Well, that's also illegal. But like think about the other direction too. So like dating somebody who's 27, like that's equally as insane. I mean, it starts to reach a point where it's not as crazy. Where do you guys think that line is? Like mid 30s, early 30s, where suddenly it's just stop. Like when does age stop being a thing in terms of the upward direction? Because obviously going backwards, it makes sense. But how about moving forward?
Could you elaborate on that question a bit?
Yeah. So at what age does age stop being a thing? Like if I'm 25, am I suddenly okay with dating like a 36-year-old?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, where is that line? When does that begin to just be like,
I mean,
what if you're just so attractive that that many people are attracted?
Jeremiah, not everyone is you. Okay, we gotta hold back for a second there, bud.
Okay, then I can't comment.
Carson, I'm really leaning on you on this for this one.
I'm only 18 years old. Like, I don't know if it's fair for me to say, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like, just from observation, I feel like late 20s and 30s is kind of when
all bets
the
are off.
lines be blurred.
Yeah.
But also, I have a question for you, Carter.
Sure.
Let's say that like a 35-year-old is dating like a 25-year-old. Do you think that the wisdom from the 35-year-old could grant a healthy relationship with the 25-year-old?
I mean, age does not automatically equal wisdom. It does mean more experience, which doesn't always translate to wisdom. But if it is a wise individual, I think it could help a relationship, But you would hope so.
Yeah.
You would hope someone who's 10 years older is able to bring more wisdom to the table than a 25-year-old.
And if any of our listeners out there have any real-life experience with this, please feel free to comment also. And that wraps up our episode for the week. And we don't have Log Dog here to...
But still a word from our sponsors.
talk, but...
All right.
Those are the sponsors. Thank you so much, guys.
And so tune in next week. We'll be talking about whether streaking is ethical, yellow snow, and dropping pumpkins out of windows. Thank you.
And is Jay Barnes overrated? Oh! Oh, wrong button. There it is.